Hey family, Eve here. So family, today the video that I'm about to create is going to be titled, they call it Thanksgiving, but it should be called Thanksgiving. But before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So let's get started. So the reason I want to title this video called, they call it Thanksgiving, but it should be called Thanksgiving because of the significance or how the name originated. So let's get started. So when the Romans or the Italian, the Spaniards came over and conquered what is known today as the United States of America or America, all the lands were stolen and taken from the natives or the original people of the land, who dwelt on the land. Most people refer to them as Indians. That is not who they are, who they were then or is today. Their true identity and who they are known as today is the Israelites, or the seed of Jacob, the children of Israel. Jacob, who later became Israel in the biblical text, which at that time, say the name Indians was given to them by a settler, called Christopher Columbus, whom God sent to bring down the children of Israel into captivity as a part of their curse He placed on our people. Because of their transgression and their failure to keep his laws. Columbus thought he had come, or he came up on a country or place called India. That's why he named them Indians. Columbus left and came back with other settlers. One to be exact was called Amerigo Vespucci, of whom the name America was derived. Amerigo Vespucci was an Italian explorer who was credited with realizing that the lands discovered by Columbus were part of a separate continent. Like this land right here was the Americas, what they call Americas today, was a part of. It was not a part of the original lands like Europe, Asia, and Africa. They were separate from what is called the United States today, or North America. They were separate. God kept the land separate because of his people. They were special. The children of Israel were special. So God kept them away from all the other nations, which was Europe, Asia, and Africa. So North America was on a whole nother side where nobody even knew where it was. It was sacred, secret, and blessed. Those lands were blessed because of the children of Israel were his blessed children. So that's why when they came up on the land, and Amerigo Vespucci realized that it was a whole separate continent from the where they were used to dwelling, and that's why Columbus didn't realize who the people were when he came up on the land. So the Europeans, after discovering it, called it Novus Mundus, which meant New World. But to the natives, it was known as Turtle Island. Now, the Europeans gave the world the ideology that they had discovered a new world of people, and they became friends. They were friends that they made everybody believe that they was friends, and they was gonna begin to trade and do things as friends. So they would but the Europeans didn't have the wealth that these people had, that the natives of this land had. The Europeans were like barbarians. They were barbaric. They were like trash slaves. They were evil and wicked. They was just like I said, barbaric, almost like what they consider cavemen. And they dwelt in the cold climates, and that's why I say God kept them so far away from the children of Israel, because they lived in a whole nother type of world. That's why they called this place New World when they discovered it. So the Europeans, or the Romans, Spaniards, or whomever, they were so intrigued by the wealth of these people and all the beauty that they had. The lands were very fertile. They grew everything. That's why when they talk about the feast that they had corn, they had all kind of vegetables, they had gold, silver, they had pearls, scarlet, beautiful material. They had all this wealth, all of this prosperity. They had all of these things. And so the Europeans were so intrigued with it. They was devising in their minds how they was gonna get all of this. So they came over, they left, came back, left and came back, and then when they came back, they brought blankets that was covered in smallpox, and when they brought those blankets back, they gave them to the natives, and they was able to kill off most of them with the blankets with the smallpox, and the ones that they didn't kill with smallpox, they like beheaded them and did all kind of evils to them. But that's that was a part of our curse. That was a part of curse for the people of the land, because they were chosen, and they wanted to they wanted to they didn't want to keep God's laws. So he told them that they would keep laws. If they didn't keep his laws, they was gonna keep the laws of somebody. So they went into captivity up under these Spaniards, or the Romans, the Greeks, the Gentiles. And so yeah. And if you read the book of Samuel's, I think it's First Samuel chapter 8, that'll tell you that they wanted a king to rule over them, and God was saying that they was disrespecting him because he was their king and he is their king. So in order for them, in order that they be like the other nations and they asked for a king, he gave them one. So that's why we fell into captivity up under these people, because we didn't respect him as our God. So, and it's also in the book of Deuteronomy where he told us that we was going to go in captivity again in this place. When he took us out of bondage in Egypt, he said we was going to go into captivity up under these people. He told Abraham that we was going to go into captivity for 400 years. So that was all of this was a part of our curse. But however, for the natives or the original people of the land, America, Thanksgiving is not a heartwarming holiday marked by gathering with family and serving others, but rather a reminder of genocide, colonialism, and oppression. It's a symbol of smallpox blankets, Christianity, land grabs, and manifest destiny. Celebrating Thanksgiving is really disrespectful to the Native people in America. The first Thanksgiving is often portrayed as a friendly harvest celebration, and generic harmless Indians came together to eat and give thanks. This story is a myth that was sparked in the mid 1800s when the English, British, Roman accounts of the 1621 harvest event resurfaced and fueled the American imagination. So they were saying that they had to, because this story was a lie, and people was questioning it, that they had to come up with a way of throwing the people off by lying. So Thanksgiving Day is a reminder of the genocide of millions of Native people, the theft of Native lands, and the relentless assault of Native cultures. The natives that are familiar with the truth concerning Thanksgiving see it as a day of mourning rather than a day of giving thanks. The book of Nephi, like I was in my last video I made, I told you guys about how the Book of Mormon was our book, and you can compare it to the Bible. So in the Book of Mormon, it tells you how these people came over and what they did, and this what it tells in this book. It tells you how Thanksgiving was brought about. So in the book of First Nephi, chapter 13, beginning with verse 1, it says, See, Nephi sees in a vision the church of the devil set up among the Gentiles, the discovery of colonizing of America, the loss of many plain and precious part of the Bible, the resultant state of the Gentiles' apostasy, the restoration of the gospel, the coming forth of the latter-day scripture, and the building of Zion about 600 to 592 BC. In first verse, well, that was the header. This is the first verse. And it said, It came to pass that the angel spoke unto me, saying, Look. And I looked and beheld many nations and kingdoms. And the angel said unto me, What beholdest thou? And I said, I behold many nations and kingdoms. And he said unto me, These are the nations and kingdoms of the Gentiles. And it came to pass that I saw among the nations of the Gentiles the formation of a great church. And the angel said unto me, Behold, the formation of the church, which is the most abominable above all churches, which slayeth the saints of God, yea, and tortureth them, and bindeth them down, and yoketh them with a yoke of iron, and bringeth them down into captivity. Verse 6 says, And it came to pass that I beheld the great and abominable church, and I saw the devil, that he was the founder of it. He's talking about the Roman Catholic Church. I told you in a couple of my videos that the church, all denominations of every church was established by the Roman Catholic Church, and that's what he's saying. This church, the angel asked him what did he see. He said he see the abominable church. He's talking about the Catholic Church because it's the Romans, the Roman Catholic Church. He's talking about the Romans, the ones who came over here to bring us down into captivity, to bring the natives down into captivities. He's telling us exactly what transpired during that time. And verse 7 says, and I also saw gold and silver and silks and scarlets, fine twine and linens, and all manner of precious clothing. And I saw many harlots. Harlots is like ladies, like um, they just greedy, like they whorish, they do evil, like evil people. And 8 says, and the angel spoke unto me, saying, behold, the gold and the silver and the silks and the scarlet and the fine twine linens and the precious clothing and the harlots and the desires of this great and abominable church. 9 says, and also the praise of the world do they destroy the saints of God and bring them down into captivity. He's saying that they want the praise of the world. So they figure if they can get all of this stuff right here and bring it back to their people and show them all of these beautiful things, then they will be able to conquer the people. People will respect them and want and be like, okay, we can get all of this. Yeah. And verse 10 says, and it came to pass that I looked and beheld many waters, and they divided the Gentiles from the seed of my brethren. And it came to pass that the angel said unto me, behold, the wrath of God is upon the seed of thy brethren. He's saying that the many waters is what separated these continents, our continent, this continent here, from the rest of them. And he was saying that the angel told him that the wrath is upon his brother, meaning God is bringing these people over here to destroy his brethren, his people. And then 12 says, and I looked and beheld a man among the Gentiles, who was separate from the seed of my brethren by the many waters. And I beheld the Spirit of God, that it came down and wrought upon the man. And he went forth upon the many waters, even unto the seed of my brethren, who were in the land of promise, the promised land. The promised land, isn't America called the land of the promised land, the land of milk and honey? Because of its fertility, it's because of its fertileness, because of all of its wealth. Yeah. So he was saying that the man, he said the man that God put a spirit on him, and he was traveling, coming upon the seed of his brother. That's Christopher Columbus. He came over here to bring down our people. He was the beginning of bringing down our people, because he went and he brought other people back they came, and that's what they did. They came back because he saw all of this wealth, and he went back and told his people, the rest of the Gentiles, and they all came over here to bring us down into captivities. And they did it with the smallpox, and they did it by beheading and just destroying our people. And then it says, 13 says, and it came to pass that I beheld the Spirit of God that wrought upon other Gentiles, and they went forth out of captivity upon the many waters. Meaning they came from where they were, because they didn't know about us. They came from their lands over here to ours. That's what he's saying. He said the Spirit wrought upon the other Gentiles, meaning Columbus went back and brought all the rest of them back with him. And then it says, 14 says, and it came to pass that I beheld many multitudes of Gentiles upon the land of promise. And I beheld the wrath of God, that it was upon the seed of my brethren, and they were scattered before the Gentiles and smitten. That means our people were scattered all over the four corners, everywhere. The Gentiles scattered us and brought us down into slavery, bondage. And like I said, God said in the book of Deuteronomy, this is what was going to happen to us when we transgress and we fail to keep his laws, and we fail to see him as our God. We turned our back on him and turned our face against him, and he did the same thing to us. So 15 says, and I beheld the Spirit of the Lord, that it was upon the Gentiles, and they did prosper and obtain the land for their inheritance. And I beheld that they were white and exceedingly fair and beautiful, like unto my people before they were slain. He's not saying that he's not talking about color. He's talking about they were exceedingly fair. They were beautiful because they had obtained all the beauty that we had, the lands and all our wealth. So that made them fair, white, and beautiful, because they had all that, all of our blessings. They received them, and God gave them to them. For the 400 years we was in captivity, God gave them all of our blessings, and that's what he's saying right there. So this is how you can compare the Bible to the Book of Mormon also, just by what this says right here. And this is how this chapter right here is telling you how they brought us down into captivity, and how Thanksgiving was set up, how they made it as if it was something that we agreed to, but it wasn't. Thanksgiving is thanks taking. They took everything we had and were blessed. They inherited everything we had, and they became blessed. Like God said, fair and beautiful. Like Nephi said, fair and beautiful, like his brethren was until he was slain. So family, that's Thanksgiving. It's not Thanksgiving, it's thanks taking. They took all the everything of the natives. But however, I've been saying this, God is giving it back. And if you operate in the spiritual, you can see it. But if you're in the carnal and in the flesh, you can't see what he's doing. You got to be on a spiritual mindset, and you got to be connected to him to be able to see what it is that he's doing. So family, with that being said, I thank you guys for watching my video, and I'll see you on the next one.